which I'll talk a little bit about. It wasn't very good. It was called Titane. It's a bit of an art house horror film. It was in a lot of top 50 films of 2021 lists. Quite reputable film sites and newspapers put it somewhere in that list, and I thought, all right, let's give it a go. A film called Titane, same writer director as a film called Raw, which I didn't really get on with. I've got to be honest. I'll show you briefly, just so you know what I'm on about. Very stylish, very sexy. Oh, sexy. There's a lot of nudity, and there's a lot of disgusting noises. I'll be honest.
Threat isn't on the horizon.
If I could sum this film up in one word, disgusting. It's this sort of body horror. If anyone knows what body horror is, it's why am I going on IMDb? Forget IMDb, Adam. Go on this, because you won't have as many ads. Although the ad would have played by now. Yeah, let's have an advert here. That's just 5 seconds, so that's kind of the same as what that would have played originally, so completely pointless exercise that, Adam. Well done. Well done, you. Don't you feel good about yourself? Really sticking it to the man there. So you've watched 2 adverts now. You disgust me. This is it. It's so this lady here is in a car crash when she's younger, gets a metal plate in her head. Hooray for advertisements. Yay, hi, drunk guy. She has a metal plate in her head. She has a rather disconcerting relationship with cars. She has sex with them. I can't put it any other way than that. Starts out, she's dancing. It's very French and very stylized, very sexy. Lots of good lighting, and then she just starts killing people. This guy here gets these spoilers, by the way, and violence. He gets a needle in his ear. He dies. She meets this guy. I mean, it's what can I say about this film? Why didn't I like it? Well, I'm not a fan of body horror. But this is the original, the first film that I saw by the same writer director. You could say it's some really weird shit. Yeah, that should be on the trailer. Julia Ducournau. That's the writer director. So this film I quite enjoyed. This is about basically a girl who is a cannibal. She's got some I'm not very good at summing films up, but there was a bit more of you could connect with the character a bit more, even though she was a cannibal, but it was like an affliction. She didn't know what was going on with her, and it was she had this compulsion to eat people. And it's all very, what's the word? It's very up close. There's lots of really horrible sounds, and it's very... If you've seen a film called Setsuo, which is I think it's Japanese, that's like a body horror. That was very, very heightened, very stylized, about a guy who basically turns into this big Iron Man, which is what Tetsuo means. All I'm going to say is that I got really high, and Human Centipede was hilarious. I don't know. Have I seen Human Centipede? I think I may have done, but I may have erased it completely from my psyche. Although I do remember the South Park piss take of it, which was very funny. So this had a bit more about it, in my opinion. And Titane She goes on the run after going on a bit of a kill spree, and she decides to completely change. Oh, she kills her parents as well. She burns them alive in their own home. Then she meets that guy.
Well, no one told me about her. The way she lied.
But how she meets him is that she sees this missing boy poster, and then she goes into this bathroom in the middle of this train station and she breaks her own nose. She shaves her hair off, shaves her eyebrows off, and it's really, there's a lot of really horrible graphic gore in it, really sort of gratuitous. Not to my body horror is just a weird one, isn't it? I think you're either really into it, or it's just there's a sliding scale. And I think The Fly, the David Cronenberg film with Jeff Goldblum, I think you would call that body horror, and that's more at the commercial side of things. And then you've got the sort of art house end of the spectrum, which is just Videodrome. Yeah, I've not seen that, but yeah, I know which film you mean. And this just sort of
but it's too late to say you're
so she does that. She changes her identity. Most of Cronenberg's stuff, yeah. And this guy, that bustly guy you saw, comes into the police station looking for his son, and she's there, and he points her out and says, "That's him, that's my boy, I'd know him anywhere."
How would I know?
So
why should I care?
watching,
Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there.
Yeah, no, they don't show it, but she. And then me and my mate were looking at each other, going, "Surely he knows that that's not his son. He must know, because she doesn't look anything. She's a different race to the boy." So it goes on for a bit, and you're like, okay, well, mate. And then you start to cut on that, because he starts having these flashbacks of his boy being caught in a fight, and it's like, oh, he knows his son's dead, and he's in complete denial, and he's pretending that this girl is his son. And then it becomes quite sort of moving. You're like, oh, this is a nice. Oh, I did not see this coming at all, because up until that point, it's very hard going. It's very just completely violent for violence's sake, without any sort of redeeming features at all. Because the main character, this woman, is just, the first part where she kills this guy is sort of self-defense, and you're like, okay, fair enough. That guy sort of had that coming. And then she just starts killing people left, right, and center. And she has, this is the thread which lost me. The whole thing, Titane. Obviously, she's got this metal plate in her head, and in the beginning, as a child, she's got this very strange affinity with cars and metal, and there's something very sexy about cars. And in the first sort of set piece is her at this big car convention, and she's dancing, and it's very seductive. There's lots of nudity. And then there's a scene where she's basically inside this car, and there's no PG way to put this. She's having sex with the car, I mean, me and my friend were looking at it. Just we didn't know where to look. I mean, she was doing things that would make a whore blush. But and that's why it started to lose it for me, because I was the bit with the guy and her, that sort of relationship. I was like, oh, there's something here which is quite human. And as she sort of changes her appearance, she gets this sort of thing in her belly, and she gets this oil coming out of her, like out of her nose and out of her lady parts. And then she becomes really bloated, and she's like having to strap everything down so she looks like a boy. and then at the end, spoiler alert, this guy realizes he catches her sort of the charade is up. Basically, he sees her in her sort of form, her female form, and the charade is up. And there's a real sort of intimate moment between them where he sort of thinks she's his son still, and there's like a sensual moment. And we were thinking, oh, yeah, I would not put it past this. Anything could happen at this point. A lot has happened up until now, so why not? Why would they not just have sex? But they didn't. They didn't do that. It sort of veered away from that. She starts to have this baby, and the baby is it's got a metal spine, and she dies, and the dad holds the baby, and the baby. So it's that's the film. If you fancy that, give it a go. Tell me what you think of it. Even though I've just ruined the whole plot for you, but I think I can't quite work out why. I mean, this might sound obvious to some people. Why didn't I like it? Even though I've just summed it up beautifully for a lot of people. It was the like I say, the body horror aspect of it, and there was something in. I wasn't sure what it was trying to say. I think that's the point. I just didn't know why is it so well revered? Is it because I don't know. I just didn't get it. I think that's all. That's all I can say. I didn't get it. I preferred it to the Matrix Resurrections, though. I'd much rather watch something like that than the Matrix Resurrections. I will say that. Did I enjoy the film? No. Did I find it upsetting? Yes. Was I disgusted by the film? Yes. Would I watch it again? No. What would I give it out of 10? Who knows? But I suppose I'm glad I watched it. It's good to watch something different, isn't it? It's good to watch something different. I think out of the two films, that and Raw just had more of a. I suppose if you can't get on board with the main character, I just don't know why the car stuff. If it wasn't for the car stuff, I don't know. It was just a bit. I think when things become a bit art housey, or they become, there needs to be a balance there. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just waffling now. Go and watch it if you want. I don't care. Do what you want. What am I, your mother?